Alright, so let's start piecing these things together, right? So I have an example program right here. I'm going to run it, and if you want to pause it and look at the two side by side, that might help. Like if you want to pause it right now, you can. But really what I have is I have two labels and two entries, and then I have a button here, okay? And this is like if you're, let's say you're logging into let's say you're logging into Facebook, right? And you type in your username and your password and a login, and there's usually like a button down here, a check button that says keep me logged in. So let's go ahead and let's do something about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a check button, and I'm just going to call it check one, and let's just say create a new check button. Let's throw it in the root, and the text next to it, let's just say keep me logged in. All right, and we're then going to throw it in the grid, and we'll put this in row 3. Row equals 3, and I'll probably just leave it in the first column. Let's go ahead and do that. So really what this should do is it should create my check button and throw it at the very bottom. Let's run it and see what happens. All right, keep me logged in, and it's pushed it all the way in this column right here. I'm going to go ahead and throw column span 2 in there because that looks kind of funny. So column span 2, and that should throw it right in there. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. So we might even put this above the logged in. That might be the proper look, and log in be at the bottom. So what I can do is I can just swap these two and say row 3 here, row 2, and if you want to just logically put them on top of each other, I can do that first. I'll put the check button ahead of it so that way it just looks nicer. All right, so let's do that, and it will say keep me logged in, and you can click that if you want to. So I can add something like username is Mr. Danza and password is 1234 because that's my password for everything. So you click keep me logged in, and I click log in, and if I had functionality behind it, then that would actually work. But that's how you would actually use a check button. And notice that you don't need a label next to a check button. The check button, you can always just add text next to it rather than adding a label just by using the text parameter. And that's how you would start to piece things together and use in one program. You can use a label, an entry, a check button, and a button.